Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare
Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigi Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Nama Pangajanabhaya Nama Pangajamaline Nama Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajangre Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangam Lankayade Giring Yatkribatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. Come back to Bhagavad Gita as it is. So we are on the fifth chapter, and the verses are, for the name of the chapter is Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. And today we are discussing 3 verses, 4, 5, and 6. I'll read the 4th verse. Sangya Yogo Pradagbala Pavadandina Pandidaha Egamabhistidaha Samya Ubhayor Vindade Phalam. Sangya Yogo Pradagbalaha Pravadandina Pandidaha Egamapyastidha Samya Ubhayor Vindade Phalam. Sankhya Yogo Pradagbalaha Pravadandina Pandidaha Egamapyastidha Samya Ubhayor Vindade Phalam. Yes, Renuka Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sankhya Yoga Pritatpala Pravadantina Panditaha Ekam Apya Ekam Api Atta
Egam Abhyastidaha Egamabi Astidaha
Ekam Apistitaha Samya Ubayor Vindate Phalam.
Right. Idamaji. Snigdhamadaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sankhya Yoga Prithagvalaha Pravadanti na Panditaha Ekam api sthitah samya Ubhayo Bindate Phalam. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Rekha Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sankhya Yoga Pratakpala Pravadanti na Panditaha Ekamapi Atishta Samyak Upayor Vindati Phalam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Renuka Mataji, and read the translation.
Only the ignorant speak of karma yoga and devotional service as being different from the analytical study of the material world, that is Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both.
Right. Thank you. So, verse 5. Yet Sankhyehi prapyade sthanam tad yoge ravi gamyate egam sankyam cha yogam cha yapashyadi sapashyadi. Yet Sankhyehi prapyade sthanam tad yoge ravi gamyate egam sankyam cha yogam cha yapashyadi sapashyadi. Yet Sankhye prapyade sthanam tad yoge ravi gamyate Egam Sankyam cha yogam cha yapashyadi sapashyadi. Yes, Snigdamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Yat
Krishna.
sankhye prapate sthanam tat yogirapi gamyate ek sankhyam cha yogam cha japasyati sapasyati. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Renugamaji.
Yat sankhya prapayate sthanam tad yogir api gamyam ekam sankhya cha yogam cha yaha pashyati sapashyati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rekamaji.
Yat Sankhyahi prapyat sthanam yat Satyogerapi gamyate ekam sankhya cha yogam cha ya pashyati sa pashyati. Hare Krishna.
Rekamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yat Sankhyahi prapyate sthanam yat yogerapi gamyate ekam sankhya cha yogam cha pashyati sa pashyati. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. You can read the translation also.
Thank you, Prabhu. One who knows that the position reached by means of renunciation can also be attained by works and devotional service, and who therefore sees that the path of works and the path of renunciation are one, sees things as they are. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Right. Verse 6. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptam ayogadaha yoga yukto munur brahma nachirenadhi gacchadi. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptam ayogadaha yoga yukto munur brahma nachirenadhi gacchadi. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptam ayogadaha yoga yukto munur brahma Nachirenadi gacchadi. Right. Renugamaji.
Sannyasa satu mahabaho dukkam attu ayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena digacchati. Hare Krishna.
Rekamaji.
Hare Krishna. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Hare Krishna.
Okay, right. Right, Snigdamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkam aptam ayogya sanyasastu mahabaho dukkam aptum ayogyatah yoga
Ayogadaha.
ayogatah yoga yukta muni brahma nachirenadhi gacchati. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Can I read the translation
Yes.
also?
Yes.
One who walks in devotion, who is a pure soul and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him.
One second.
Hare
That is verse 7, I think. That is verse 7 and 8. 7. You have to read 6.
Sorry, bro. 6. Sorry, bro.
Unless
Unless one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, Mere renunciation of activities cannot make one happy. The sages purified by works of devotion achieve the supreme without delay. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, right. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadantigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamadam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sam Shri Rupam Sagarajadam Saganadagunadan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishagan Vidam Sam E Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptaga Anjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhan Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpadrubhescha kriva sindhubhyev cha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Sankhya Yoga Pradak Balaha Pravadandina Panditaha Egamapyasthidaha Samya Ubhayor Vindade Bharam. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service Karma Yoga as being different from the analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both. So we are on to the last chapter of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, action Krishna consciousness. What are the activities of a person who has completely achieved a realization, who has achieved his goal of self-realization, and what are his actions? Whether he should stop all actions altogether or he should continue with his actions is a question that is posed by Arjuna in the first verse. Arjuna seemed to have thought that once you have realized yourself, then there is no need to work at all. So why should do this karma again? That was his question. And he also wanted to know which is superior, whether jnana yoga, karma yoga, so that he can adopt one of these methods. And Krishna very clearly, without any trace of doubt, he said that although both the yogas are both good for liberation, but even then, karma yoga is better than karma sannyas, renunciation of work. And Arjuna actually wanted to know why Krishna is saying this, that karma yoga is better than jnana yoga, karma sannyasa. In the third verse, Krishna says that first he praises this karma yogi. He says that the karma yogi is nitya sannyasi only because it is as good as he has renounced all work. Although he's doing work, is as good as that he's not doing anything, because his actions being completely in the transcendental sphere is not at all material, and therefore it is not having any reaction. It's not creating any reaction. When you act on a material platform, naturally there will be reactions. and you have to suffer or enjoy that. And for that, that prolongs your engagement in the material world. But a realized person's actions are not for his benefit, or not for any result, or to meet any end. It is just as he's doing, he is simply discharging his duty only. So this person is as good as a sannyasi. He's nitya sannyasi, is constantly is sannyasi only, because although he's acting, he's not acting. That person can very easily liberate himself. So after praising this Karma Yoga, then Krishna answers the question of Arjuna, why Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga or Karma Sannyasa. In the 4th and 5th verse, he actually brings out the similarities between these two. Effectively, both are the same. He says, Sankhya Yoga Pradak Bala, if you say that these both are different, Sankhya Yoga means analytical study of the material elements, comprising of 24 elements, which is detailed in the 13th chapter, verse 6. Mahabhuda Nihangaro Buddhir Avyaktamevacha Indriyani Dashaegamcha Panchak Chendriya Gochara. So totally 24. Singamaji, can you say which are the 24 elements?
Prabhuji, our 5 senses, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Gyanendriya.
Yes.
And 5 sense objects are there.
Yes. Yes.
And
So
then
sound.
3 subtle.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
3 subtle things are there: Mana, Buddhi, and Ahankar.
Yes. Yes. So that is 18. Now there is a Panchabhuta, gross elements are there. Panchabhuta.
Yes,
that is 23.
Yes,
23. Plus one Avyakta here means the gunas. Gunas means actually the gunas is acting. After Pradhana, that Bhatattva, then comes gunas. From that spirits all Ahangara, from that all those Panchabhuta, Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, and sense objects are that is being generated from this. So gunas is one of
Actually, Prabhuji, I could not understand what is Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the energy or what, Prabhuji?
It is actually the first transformation of Pradhana. Pradhana is actually the indivisible and what we call undistributed energy. The material energy, the first form is Pradhana, which is not visible. It is not. It is in one form, and it is not. It has been not distributed. So that is the first stage. I can say the first stage of material thing is a Pradhana, and from Pradhana comes a Mahatattva. Mahatattva means then slowly these elements are getting to the form. So the first stage of visibility, we can say, visibility can say, that is Mahatattva. So then Mahatattva, from Mahatattva, these gunas come, and from gunas, Ahankara, and from this, you come other elements also. That Panchabhuta, senses, and sense objects. And mind is considered as one of the senses. That is why in Dashaegamcha. Yes, Manashashtandriyani is given in the 15th chapter, 7th verse. In 13th chapter is given as a sense also. That is Dashaegamcha, Indriyani Dashaegam. Dashaegam means 11. That means 5 Karmendriya, 5 Jnanendriya plus mind.
Yes.
So totally 24 elements. And these 24 elements, when these Sankhya yogis, they make a critical analysis, critical study of these elements, and they find that it is material only. And the soul is separate from that. So in Upanishad, you will find verses called Neti, 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 not this, not this, not this. So by analyzing what is material and eliminating all these material elements and getting disengaged from, detached from these material elements, they realize the soul. Because that is one way, because you always try to identify your thoughts, your body, all those things, the senses, as mind. Oh, sorry, as soul. The feelings, whatever you get, sometimes you wrongly identify with the soul. Happiness, you identify with soul. Sorrow, you identify with soul. In the 13th verse, 13th chapter, the 6th verse explains all this. When we come to that, we'll make a detailed study of that. And then he realizes that we are not this matter, we are pure spirit only. So that is his Jnana Yogi's method. From analysis, eliminating these material elements, finding that material elements is not connected to spirit, or spirit is not, or is not part of spirit, or spirit is not a part of matter. He comes to conclusion that we have to get detached from matter, and that he develops asakti and anasakti. Asakti means attachment, anasakti means detachment. So he completely detaches from matter. That is their method. While the Karma Yogi discharges his work, prescribed work, and simultaneously he develops attachment to Krishna also. Srila Prabhupada says, ultimately both Karma Yogis and Jnana Yogis find that Vishnu is the root of all this universe, the material universe, the material world, material universe, as you can say, Prapancha, Brahmanda. The root is actually Vishnu only. And identifying Vishnu, understanding Vishnu as a root, by understanding Vishnu as a root, these Jnana Yogis get liberated. While the Karma Yogis or the Bhaktas, understanding Vishnu as a root and then rendering service to him, they get attached to Krishna. Understanding that Krishna is a Supreme Personality is not enough. You have to render service also. Same is the case with Dhyana Yogi. Dhyana Yogi, they realize the super soul. They understand super soul in every atom and their hearts also. But the service to super soul is not there. Because their understanding of this absolute truth is devoid of the personal aspect. The service is not accruing in that. While the devotees, they give emphasis to a personal aspect, and so they render service to the Supreme. Life is like watering the root. You find the root of a tree and then you water it. But ultimately, as far as the realization is concerned, the goal is concerned, the goal is the same. Though the processes may be different because of your gunas, because of your consciousness, because of a conscious level, some people are suited for Jnana Yoga and some people are suited for Karma Yoga. But the Jnana Yoga, the precondition is that if you are suitable Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, you should have a clear consciousness. If you don't have clear consciousness, then if you embark on this in this method, in this process, then there is a danger. That will come to the 6th verse. So Sankhya Yoga Pratak Bala Pravadandi Pandita. Only the ignorant speak that they are different. The Panditas, the realized persons, they don't speak like that way. Because that reason is given in the next verse. Yet Sankhya Prapyade Sthanam Tad Yogi Ravi Gamyade. So whatever destination these Jnana Yogis achieve, the same destinations achieved by Karma Yogi only. Sthanam means fixed area, fixed place from where there is no fall down. From there is no deviation. So a place from there where there is no deviation and fall down is called sthanam. So the sthanam is the fixed place, the destination which you are aspiring for, which is yourself. Egam sankyam cha yogam cha ya pashyari sapashyari. So this is a real understanding. One who really understands that Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga with devotion, work in devotion service, Karma Yoga are one and the same as far as the destination is concerned. Then he really understands things. Srila Prabhupada says detachment to matter and attachment to Krishna is one and the same. The materialists, they strive very hard, start very hard to get detached from matter by their own effort. And sometimes they make the mistake of renouncing things which are actually good for your service, for seva. That is a Papanchikatya Buddhya. We have seen that, we have discussed that verse of Rupa Goswami. But the person who is a devotee, who is automatically serving Krishna, he gets automatically detached. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, it says that to the extent, to the degree that you are getting attached to Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastimes, to that extent you get detached from material activities or material content. When you continue to listen to Krishna's pastimes, Bhagavad Gita and that, naturally there will be a purification of a consciousness. That is for sure. You can experience that yourself. Maybe if you are listening after only for 1 year only now, and you can just compare your state of consciousness with the previous ones. Before 1 year, what was your consciousness, and now what is your consciousness? That you can easily find out the difference. It's not that you become very pure and that you come off the gunas totally. You come out of gunas. It's not that. It takes more time. But at least you are getting awareness of these things. You are getting awareness of your own gunas, how you are reacting, how you are responding, what is your likes, what is your dislikes. And based on that, you can understand that because of influence of the gunas only, I am thinking this way, I am acting this way. So that understanding comes first. And then you have to know what is the method, what is the process of getting out of it. Merely understanding that you are not this body, you are in gunas, is not going to release you from gunas. Not at all. Some spiritualists like Ramana Maharshi and J. Krishnamurti, they said that if you are aware, if you are alert, suppose you are angry and you get alert, because in the instance that anger, you get angry, if you are aware of that anger, the emotion, then the anger will be not there, it fade away. But how long can you do that? Every time this happens continuously. So then it becomes a kind of a mental game. You are looking for all those things to crop up. You're being very alert. You are constantly aware of your inner movements, and you're monitoring it very strictly. And as soon as one crops up, you are aware of that. That is no longer there. But there is no end to this. It'll come on as long as you are there, as long as you are breathing. This will be a continuous process. Srila Prabhupada says, mind can now be still. Mind can now be silent. So merely by understanding that you are in gunas, and that you are according to, and of course, it'll be there. There is one process, of course, that it'll give you awareness of that, it can get detached from that. A neutral feeling can develop. But that is only one part. Then you can develop this, you can ignore this. Bhakti Yoga in the 17th chapter also, in the not 17th chapter, 14th chapter, Krishna mentions this, that you have to ignore this. You have to be neutral to your gunas. But being neutral or ignoring the gunas is only one part. How you can ignore this? Because you are a living entity. So that means you have to get attached very intensely to Krishna only. So Srila Prabhupada says, take shelter of the holy name. Very simple statement, but it carries a great meaning. You see somebody's words, you listen to somebody's words, or you look at somebody's actions, then naturally you get irked sometimes, or you praise somebody, or you criticize somebody. That happens in our daily life. That is based on your likes and dislikes. Your gunas is acting or responding. Ignore that. But how can you ignore that? Simply just like that. So Srila Prabhupada says, take shelter of holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, because then your mind is in Hare Krishna, naturally it will not come. But the moment you stop or you come out of this consciousness, naturally your material consciousness will take over. But then you have to alert to your material consciousness, that because ignore that, then silently chant Hare Krishna. This is actually the practical way. If you are advanced, and when you are advancing, you will know this. It is a sort of a struggle, but that struggle is much better than struggling in this species, 84 lakh species. And it's nice also. And you feel that, okay, this when you are able to immediately recognize this, your gunas are acting, and then immediately you turn to Krishna. Yes, that stops. And slowly you can find that there is a gradual decrease in this thing. So that like Srimad Bhagavatam says, the more you are getting attached to Krishna, more you are listening to Krishna, more you are listening to Bhagavad Gita, more you are listening to Bhagavatam, and then you are getting detached. This is a natural process. Awareness is there, it should be there. That is there. That even Bhagavad Gita also speaks about that. Yada yada mana chanchaladi chanchalam astiram tada tada atmanam vasham neyet. Immediately you have to bring back the mind to a spiritual platform. And spiritual platform is just chanting Hare Krishna. The easiest way to get to the spiritual platform is to chant silent in your mind. You can practice there. You can practice on a daily basis. Sigdamaji, Renuga Mataji, Rekamaji, and you can try this.
Yes,
Because you are living being, we are a conditioned living, we are under gunas. So naturally, our responses will be material only initially. You are irked by somebody, you're happy about somebody, or you're happy with someone, you're not satisfied with someone. This is a continuous process. Yes, Singdamaji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam, never glorify or never criticize anyone. Because when you are criticizing somebody or when you are glorifying somebody, you are only spoiling your consciousness. You are imbibing their consciousness. Because you are glorifying someone's material quality and you are criticizing someone's material qualities. You can glorify a devotee. You can glorify devotee Prabhupada or any advanced devotee for that matter. Yes, that is good. That is good for your consciousness. That is why in Srimad Bhagavatam you find so many studis. Studi is glorification. glorification of Krishna, glorification of Shiva, glorification of Acharyas. You find they everywhere. In Shambhavatam, full of glorification of Krishna only. So when you glorify Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is given mention also. There is an in case of Prithvi Maharaj episode in fourth canto, the courtesans and they are praising Prithvi Maharaj. They say that actually we are doing for our benefit only, not for your benefit. When you are glorifying a spiritual person, a very advanced devotee, you are actually improving your consciousness. You are taking because you are imbibing his consciousness. And when you are glorifying somebody because of their material qualities, naturally you are imbibing their material qualities. Oh, he's a very learned person. He's a good engineer. He's a very good doctor. He's that. He's this. He's a self-made man. He has made billions of rupees. He's well settled in Canada. He's well settled in this way, that place. He has built very good houses. And he has helped a lot of persons. He gives liberally, he donates a lot of money. You're glorifying somebody. You're imbibing their material consciousness. You criticize somebody, you're imbibing your qualities. You can criticize a person who is an atheist, who is a non-believer, who criticizes Krishna, Shastras and all that. You can be angry with him. Yes. That way, your consciousness will improve. For that, you should have the correct knowledge. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, you have to understand these verses and imbibe this. So, detachment to matter is made very easy by getting more attached to Krishna. This is the best process. And then the next verse, last verse, 6th verse, Krishna gives a real reason why karma sannyasa or karma yoga is better than karma sannyasa, because of a defect in karma sannyasa. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogadaha yoga yukto minu brahma nachirenadi gacchadi. First sentence is sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayoga. When you are not doing the discharging your duty, prescribed duties or any work, naturally, there will be impurities. Now, when a yogi thinks that I'm pure in heart, and he dons the the dress of a garb of a sannyasi, saffron dress, in the impression that that I am free from all this. Naturally, after some time, his desires, his material desires will crop up, and then he'll be in big problem. So, Srimad Bhagavatam says, one who has not controlled the 6 forms of illusion, namely lust, anger, greed, excitement, false pride, and intoxication. When my intelligence is very much attached to material things, actually, I don't have knowledge. Knowledge is actually doesn't mean that theoretic knowledge. Okay, this person may be having a very good knowledge, spiritual knowledge, may be good, well-versed in Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam on other scriptures. We have learned that, but the real knowledge is not, just manifested in his heart. And when he's not having knowledge, and when he's not detached, and he has adopted sannyasi as a means of living, and he denies worshipping demigods, his own self and the super self, then that person is not happy in this world, neither is he happy in the next world. Srila Prabhupada says, and it is a practical thing also, we find Mayavadi sannyasi, Jnana Yoga sannyasis, they don't this sannyasa. And they most of the times they go on reading Vedanta Sutra, Upanishads and all that. How long can you read that? How long can you read all these things? How many hours you can do that? You are not engaged in prescribed duties. You are not doing any job to make for your living. And then you don't have any devotion service at all. For namesake, they have the Panchopasana. But then they know that they are worshipping Vishnu, Shiva, Ganesha, sun god and Durga, the 5 gods. But they know that is only to stabilize their mind only, because they don't actually have attachment for that. They don't consider this to be spiritual. This is only to improve your focus or improve your concentration only. They are doing this. So there is a cheating element in that. So that will take only a few minutes for them. Then what do you do the rest of the time? Naturally, many people, what they do is they engage in these social activities. Like you see so many sannyasis participating in many social in TV. A TV show will be there. They're participating in so-called whether divorce is good, what is so many social problems is there, and they are very actively participating in these discussions. Or you'll find that these people are engaged in philanthropic activities also, because they don't have anything to do. And since they have renounced actions and don't have anything to do, and they don't have devotion also, they fall down from that position, because they are not realized Brahman. If they are realized Brahman, then they'll always be very happy, even if they are not doing anything. But that is not the case. And so what happens is that Srila Prabhupada says sometimes they go to Bhagavatam also. But Bhagavatam actually is a Rasamalayam only. Bhagavatam is full of Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. So if you are not relishing happiness from the words of Krishna, real relation, because when you relish the words and pastimes of Krishna, is because you accept Krishna as a supreme. If you are not accepting Krishna as supreme, if you are accepting Krishna only as a person, a material person, or maybe a great person, and like that, naturally there will be no true relation. You cannot relish this. Rasas will not come. Only when you are totally surrendered to Krishna, when you accept Krishna as a supreme only, and then you want to get connected to him, then his words become very, very nectar to you. Otherwise, for them, that's why they don't relish the slogas of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam actually. Sometimes, of course, they learn it by heart, and their accent is very good. Their Sanskrit is very good. They are experts in Sanskrit language, and so their pronunciation is very nice, and they are very good in describing things. So vocabulary is good. So word jugglery will be there. Everything will be there, but they don't derive any real happiness, because they are not accepting Krishna as supreme. Naturally, it will be there, because inside the heart, they are not accepting. There is an element of petty jealousy is there. So how can you relish this relationship? And they don't consider this relationship as spiritual. They consider this relationship as material. So where is the question of enjoyment? Where is the question of bliss? So neither do they relish a spiritual life, nor they are happy with material life also. So they are caught in between. But the Yoga Yukto Munir Brahma, that person who is a Vaishnava sannyasi, has got lot of engagement in devotional front, lot of engagement. For him, 24 hours is not enough. So naturally, his mind will be always occupied how to spread Krishna consciousness, how to render more and more service to Krishna, and render more and service to Chaitanya mission and Srila Prabhupada mission. When you always think in that time only, many Madajis are very experts in book distribution. Your Manamari Mataji say now Signamadhi has also started. So when you are doing book distribution, this is the best method, because you are talking to them about Krishna, and then you are actually helping them by giving that book. And then you can follow up these people also. So book distribution is most purifying for yourself, as well as very, very beneficial for others. And Srila Prabhupada loves this. Is the best service that you can do. This is the greatest service. Then 18th chapter, Krishna says that no one is more dear to me than one who spreads my word. So, which actually means that his words is actually Bhagavad Gita only. And when you are spreading Bhagavad Gita, either by talking about Bhagavad Gita or distributing the Bhagavad Gita book, both are the same. So that person who is totally engaged in activities, devotion activities, at the same time rendering his duties, whatever household duties or official duties or work-related duties, they are doing that. Naturally, he will be very nice platform, a very smooth platform. He will advance. There may be some fall downs, there may be some apprehensions, all those things will be there because your conditions are only. So some reverting will be there sometimes. But when you are in this firmly established, when you accept this is my life, and initiation is something that helps you to do that. Because you have become fully committed. You accept initiation means you are fully committed to the goal of your life and goal of Srila Prabhupada's. Then you can make, and you are very sincere on that, and you are dedicated your rest of your life for this. You can be very sure that you'll go back to Krishna only. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any questions? Any more clarification?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's given that wise people, they do not differentiate between Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga.
Yeah, they don't have much idea of that. They sometimes they only think, actually most of them follow this impersonal path only. They feel that this is only a Shakti only, some power is there and you have to worship that power. All those kind of active ideas, as power is there, that is there, Krishna's energy is there. Maya tadavedam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. The power is there, but then when there is a power, there is a powerful person behind that, which they don't understand. That science they are not understanding. Like you said, they don't have any idea of because they don't have a clear-cut idea of what is Karma Yoga, what is Jnana Yoga, what is Dhyana Yoga, and what is Bhakti Yoga. They have their mess of knowledge, mixed up everything. And they go to some temples and they listen to some talks. And so many persons are speaking different ways. And they have some kind of a feeling of goodness when you're sincere about this. Some goodness feeling will be there, but beyond that, you are not actually progressing. For progressing, you have to have the knowledge, the scientific knowledge drilled into you, and that is available only in the Parambara system, nowhere else. For that, please invite them. First, you distribute this book of Srila Prabhupada, and then invite them for these discourses, satsang and all that. So people who are sincere about spiritual life naturally will take to ISKCON, Hare Krishna movement. If you are not very sincere, they may not like this the mood in ISKCON. But so long as they are remaining some kind of a benefit like Neha Vikramana Shosti Pratyevayo Namidyade 2.40 is there. If you have your at least some kind of relationship, some kind of for some time at least with ISKCON, that will definitely benefit you. But the intelligent person will recognize this. Intelligent person means one who is very sincere. And then he has intelligence, and then he will know that he has come to a right path. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. Please render Narasimha Kirtan.
Yes,
and there will not be class on Saturday, today and tomorrow. And I'm thinking of not doing morning class also. Let me see.
Oh,
Right.
there will be no class on Saturday, Prabhuji?
Saturday, no class. I've given the schedule. There is no class on Friday and Saturday. Friday, Malayalam class, English class, Saturday.
Yes,
Because
yes.
some more. Right.
Okay. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladaladaine, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Shilatanka Nakalai, Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsingha, Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narasimhamadi Saranam Prapade Tabakar Kamalabari Nakham Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubhrangam Kesabadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadis Hare Jaya Jagadis Hare Jaya Jagadis Hare Jaya Narsingadev 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 Jaya Narsingadev Jaya Narahari 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 Jaya Narahari Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Om Ugrang Virang Mahavishnum Jalantang Sarvatamukam Nrsimham Vishnu Bhadram Vetramitru Namam Om Ugrang Virang Mahavishnum
Vishnu Sarvadomukam Narasimham
Bhadram Vetramitru Namam Om Ugrang Virang Mahavishnum Jalantang Sarvatamukam Nrsimham Vishnu Bhadram Mrityu Namam Jai Narsingha Sri Narsingha Jai Jai Sri Narsingha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Jai Narsingha Sri Narsingha Jai Jai Sri Narsingha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Jai Narsingha Sri Narsingha Jai Jai Sri Narsingha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhanga Sarva Vigna Vinasak Sri Narsingha Bhagavan ki Jai.
Jai. Mancha Kalpadruvesta
Kripa Sindhu Bhaya Patitanam
Vidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nanda Godi Vaishnavruta ki Jai.
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 Tila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Jai. Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari